All right, guys, Shotty T here. We got another video. I know this past week been very sporadic with the videos. I've been pretty busy, but should be able to pick it back up more this upcoming week. Just to kind of give you a recap of what's happened this past week. We did win our last versus matchup, and this week I think we are going to be facing fellow server member Forged in Fire. So I think usually at least in the previous server, one thing that we at least did in 249 is that on enemy buster day, we agreed not to fight each other because it's counterproductive long term. But we'll see what happens this Saturday with enemy buster. But it'll be a handicap match, and on paper they have the power. So we'll see how that goes. But either way, we're guaranteed to be gold tier going into next week. So that's the main thing that mattered. This was the opponent that we lost to early on, which again, it was just talked about it earlier. With Kermit the Frog being in there, which is kind of a tough matchup. Anyway, um, we are just over a week until season three starts for those that are in the timeline. I know I've said this in other videos, but I still get the questions in the comments. The timeline to see where you are in your server is to go here on this little book icon. It may not be placed in the same location in your headquarters. Just look for that little Washington Memorial type structure with the little pointed thing up. That's the timeline. So you click on that and it tells you where you are. So we're in season two, day 147. So technically that's day 147 for the entire game. So if you want to get an idea of when does season three start for where you are, you just do the math. That means you're 155 days into the game, you will be on season three. So you can just look through your timeline and see which one of these applies to you. Because it talks about the season, then it just talks about the days. Well, actually, you know what? For season two, day 147. So sorry about that. So season one lasted how many days? It lasted 120 days. Well, it's 120 days before season one starts. And then once season one starts, it takes 57 days before you get to season two. And then 155 days until season three. So just do all that math, add all those days up. You get a better idea where you are. So that being said, I'm gonna try to, I try to cater videos to people that are in different timelines because lately I have been posting stuff that's been more relevant to my timeline, and I know I got varying people that watch the game in various developments. So this video, we're gonna kind of backtrack a little bit. First, let's go ahead and capture. Let's go ahead and get our training troops there, and let's join the train before it goes off. Let's see which cargo we like the best. But this is universal for everyone, so make sure you join that train and tip your conductor. So this is a very juicy train. Obviously, the one at the bottom is very popular. The one below that. Usually, what I like to do is try to join when I have a better chance of actually getting the cargo because I think I'm gonna pick the first one. It has some drone parts, has a level three. Because the bottom two, they are better, but the odds of me getting that is slimmer. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna gift our contracts, tip the conductor, make sure you do that. Be nice to your conductor. So, all right, so let's go here. Let's talk about gears. A lot of people ask about gears before. I even had someone that DM me directly that was in the previous alliance that I was in. Can you do a video on gears? I did do a video on this a while back, and I'll try to organize these videos where you can kind of find them easier. Of course, you can always from the desktop search videos from my page, and you can find that stuff. If you just search the word gears, you will find a video that I did do on gears. But this one is going to go in a little bit more depth, so this video will take a little longer than the previous one. So gears, these help strengthen your squads. So what you do is you have your gear manufacturing, your gear factory. You want to get it to level 20. for various reasons. You get it to level 20, it'll unlock the ability to ultimately, when you have your legendary gears, you open them to increase them to higher levels. So you want to get to level 20 first and foremost. So if you got a new account, make sure you get to your gear factory to level 20. You don't have to go beyond level 20 after that. I got it to level 21 because I was just upgrading just for versus purposes because I ran out of buildings to upgrade at that time, but I haven't upgraded that building since then because there are more important buildings to upgrade. So, so how does it work? So you hit this hammer icon, and there are different types of gears that you craft. Now, early on in the game, you may not have a lot of yellow gear, so you may be kind of limited to manufacturing purple gear. But you want to get to yellow. You want to get to a point where you're promoting nothing but legendary gear the whole time. So you got four different types of gear. You got your attack based ones, and then you got your defense based ones. So the first one here is an attack one. This is probably the best attacking one. This is the rail gun. The purple is called a destroyer cannon, and the blue is called a turret. So, but as you can see, each of these adds more attack and defense um, to your squad. But as you can see, it's more limited on the blue. But as you get purple, it opens more stuff. You get hero attack 192, hero defense 25, and then increased damage to monsters 2.5%, and then it increases by another 2% the higher the level you go. But there's no upper level beyond that. So purple is limited. But when you get to legendary, now you see the attack increase exponentially. So a lot of people focus, oh, can I just do purple? I can do more damage to monsters. Yeah, technically, but you're gonna do way more damage to monsters by doing this because your overall attack is gonna be way higher. So, because hero attack applies to versus people and monsters. So you don't want to focus on purple whatsoever. But early on in the if that's all you got, that's all you got. But you want to definitely and ultimately get to all legendary. So you have the hero attack much higher, hero defense much higher, critical rate 5%, boosted hero attack 2.5. So you see this is all attack based. And as you increase the levels, the level 10, 20, 30, and 40. And this is at the base rate before you get to the bullets, the 5 bullets. Get to level 40, you increase your hero attack and crit rate respectively. And then you have this here. This is one of your defensive ones. This one increases basic level. You got hero defense and hero HP. So this is more of a defense type armor that you manufacture. And then as you can see, it goes here. More defense, more HP, reduce damage from monsters, but again, the legendary version, you don't have to worry about monsters because your health is much higher to defend against monsters, and you have a much higher defense rating, defense percentage, boosted as well as HP. So it's just legendary is better. So that's the common thing. Just keep that simple part. Legendary is where you want to go. And obviously you increase your levels, you get a lot more HP, a lot more physical damage resistance for this particular one. So that's key. We'll talk about the others. So as you keep going higher and higher. The next attack based one is this here. So again, this is just for HP only for this one. Then you have some attack and HP here, increased damage for monsters once again. But this kind of provides you a mixture of attack defense mechanism. Increased hero attack is not as high as this one. This is 895. This is 597, but this does give you some HP, some resistance to all damage type, not just uh, energy damage, but also physical damage. Boosted hero attack, so you still got that, which is similar to this one. Boosted hero attack, but that has crit rate. This one has resistance, so this kind of gives you like a little hybrid, but it also gives you more attack the higher you go, more resistance to damage types. So this is kind of all around tip to have for your attackers to give them a little bit of shielding when they're fighting. And then the final one you have here, the radar, again, just basic attack. Give you some attack, which is kind of odd. But here, you get HP effect, so this is kind of like your second defense mechanism. But again, when you get to the legendary, you get defense, HP, boosted hero defense, and HP once again. So similar to this one, but as you can see, the other one has a much higher HP. This one does even a little bit more defense, but the difference lies when you get to the higher levels. This one does give you defense rating, but it gives you energy damage resistance. So that's key. So depending on who you're going against, like Kimberly, Tesla, they're energy-based attackers, DVA, energy-based attackers. Like this is what you would use to upgrade against those types. But if you're facing like physical, like people that have more physical-based attacks, like Morrison or it's some other ones. Yeah, the rest of the legendary I can't think off the top of my head. That's what you use for the other gear for the physical damage resistance. But ultimately, you want to have both of these because that way you can have equal resistance both sides and ultimately get all of them to level 40. So how do you craft them? Well, you hit the craft button to what you want to craft, and it lets you know how long it takes. And of course, you can reduce this time. Technically, you can reduce this time by upgrading, not upgrading the buildings, but upgrading your survivors. So you can do it that way. But ultimately, you just want to craft it and just wait a day before it's ready to hit in the oven. So, what are these other tabs for? So, these other tabs, first you have the dismantle one. So, I have it set to where anytime I get any type of gear that's not yellow, I have it to where anything that's epic and below, I just want to dismantle it. Because I have no interest on utilizing any of these on my channel, so I just dismantle it. And what it does, it creates more of the micro parts that you can merge into the bigger parts. So the merge one, it allows you to consolidate. So, and I did a pretty detailed analysis on that previous video where I talk about it, where if you want to consolidate these screws, first of all, they're formed with these buildings here, the material workshop, so you can get more of these output per hour. If you want to increase how many of those you get, and you just make sure you collect those regularly, because that's the that's the one you get the most production out of. So you, every time you form merge 4 screws, then it'll turn into a refined iron. And the quick way to do it is just hit merge and you just max it out. It'll get rid of all the screws and turn them all into the iron module. So we're going to max that out. And we got 3 screws because that's an odd number. You have to get 4 to merge to another one. And then you just consolidate, continue to consolidate. So you merge again, max it out. That'll turn into these blues here. And then 4 of those equals the purple, merge, max it out. And then you see we got odd numbers there. And then ultimately, whenever you get enough of these, merge, max out, and you get this. Of course, you can't merge these anymore. So these are what you use to craft that. So to form one of these, it costs 750 of those. So as you can see, I got a whole bunch of these. So really, if I wanted to be bored right now, I can just craft these and just put them on all my channels just to have because I think but I'm trying to see if the game allows you to convert these to something else later on down the road. But these things are also important when it comes to upgrading beyond level 40. So so these are utilized in that. So you don't want to make it seem like they're completely useless because you can use that to promote. Like I'm just going to randomly use some here. So you can see it takes 195. So it took some down. So you want to so if you wanna, if you get to a point where you got so many of them, you can craft others to put it on your other teammates. But I have all of my legendary champs have all legendary gear. And it takes a while to get to this point. Like you see the finished product, say, "Oh, wow, you got it there." But again, it is a process to get there. But what I did is that all the camps that were purple and below, they don't have any gear because unless they're part of your attack team, you don't want to put any gear on them at all. Like your first four squads. I mean, technically, I could put them on here because this is my fourth march. I could put gear on these just for the heck of it. I might just do that. But most people don't have the VIP to unlock that fourth round. So if you just do the top, just have legendary gear, but anytime that you're promoting gear sooner, focus always on your number one squad and go from there. You'll never go wrong. Because if you look at my top squad, that's oops, let's take that off there. So all my top squad are aircraft, for example. So if you look at their weapon gear, they have the best overall gear across the board. So whatever your top squad is, make sure you have it. So that's where you start it. It starts at this gear factory. Okay. And so make sure that you're accumulating this. You can accumulate a lot of these through trucks that you put out there. Some of these trucks, depending on the load, will have these items. There's one there. There's a blue item there. It's really small, but it adds up with these little blue boxes here. And then let me see. This seems like a good train. A truck. Let's go ahead and do that. It's another blue box. So slowly but surely, but you can also rob them. You can rob people that have some gears like these purple boxes. These are epic gears. So you can you can refresh. So the cool thing about robbing trucks and trains, you can rob whatever you're lacking in, or that's gonna help um, advance your account. So this one has a purple, this one has a blue. So that's there. And then also another way you can get more of these gears is through secret tasks. So, and obviously I have to do some really, now, if you assist teammates, okay, go ahead and assist a couple of teammates while we're here and get a couple of these portals out the way. But if you got teammates that might have some of these green boxes, these are for gears as well. You might have people that you can rob that have those same gears. And let's say we go out to the outworld. Let's just randomly go to a server. I think 240 is the one that I've been robbing today. But let's see, I don't see a 240 here. Someone sent me a DM with 240, but I just pick a random server here. I'm just going to show you something. So when you rob a secret task that has legendary, ideally, you want to see what you have. So this one has training and some skill medals, but there are some that might have, and there are some legendary ones that if you rob them, you get some green items. So I, I don't have time to look for all that. So there are different ways you can get it there. You can also get it from the VIP store or the Alliance store. You can get uh, these ceramic data here. You can get that here. You can get the blue stuff here. You can always max that out each week. You can also get it from the campaign store where you can get these ceramic data as well. So as you can see, I got so many of them. I guess I can technically max this out. It's not going to hurt anything, so we'll go ahead and max that out there. Make up for what I just spent. But you can do the same thing in the VIP store, depending on your level. Some of these are unlocked. You can get this one here. You can get this if you unlock your VIP further, either with diamonds or through purchases, and you can just consolidate that way. So there are different ways you can get all these different items to contribute. And also randomly through Alliance gifts, you might get some, I believe. Yeah, there's 20 right there. So there are different ways throughout the game. Mystery chests can get these items because I think there's a drop rate that shows where you can get some of these. Yeah, there's the green ones there. So yeah, so they're all over the place, guys. So it's very easy to accumulate, and as you can see, it's easy to have an overflow over time over all these items. So yeah, so gears is how you get your champions to a higher level of power, and you always want to craft legendary gear only. Early on, you might be limited to just purple just to have something at least to fight with. It'll help you with those monsters early on when you're expanding your base. But as your roster gets more developed, you definitely want to take all that gear off, remove it from all your champs, and then you consolidate them, you dismantle them by going here, and it'll change it, it'll convert, and then you merge it to go higher. So we'll do this quick merge now that we just gathered some more stuff. We'll just do this little quick merge. Like it doesn't, it's a nominal add, but it does add up over time. And then you just keep getting more of these gears. You never really have to worry about doing this. I don't know why this is here. It might serve a useful purpose at some point, but you don't need to disintegrate. All this does just goes backwards. You got no reason to go backwards. You always want to have these in your inventory. But that'll do it, guys. That was a pretty long video. But that's a pretty thorough analysis about gears and the importance of those and how to get them. All right, guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll talk to you later.